Hey guys, it's Taylor. So at the beginning of the year I kind of told you that I wanted to try some different types of videos that I hadn't done before, and so today is going to be one of those. It's something that I've never done a video like this, but I am super excited to be bringing it to you guys. I think that this is something I want to do more often, kind of, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Basically, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and it's such a fun holiday. I love having a day dedicated to love, whether it's like to a significant other or just loving people in general. Like, it's such a cool day to have, but sometimes, depending on your situation or just like how you're feeling when you wake up that morning, it can not be such a great day. Whether it's, you know, a relationship thing, like you're in a breakup or something like that, or you're just really not feeling the whole Valentine's Day love Cupid thing. It cannot always be a great day, and so I wanted to make something for you guys to kind of help remedy that. So this is what I'm doing for Valentine's Day this year, just because I've really learned how important self-care is in like the last year. And so I think that Valentine's Day is the perfect day to do that, because what better day to love yourself than the day of love? So I am bringing you 14 tips today, just like little things that you can do to make Valentine's Day into a self-care day. It is so important, I can't stress enough, to have those self-care days for yourself, whether it's Valentine's Day or literally any other day of the year. It's so important to have those days to kind of refill and recharge. I always like to say that you can't pour from like an empty pitcher or an empty cup, so sometimes you need to just take those days and refill yourself so that you can pour like positivity and love and all of those good things into others. So I think that self-care days are really important. I like to do them every once in a while just to make sure that I am taking care of myself, I am recharging, I am making sure that while I am being there for others, I'm kind of refilling myself. So without further ado, I have, like I said, 14 things that you can do to make Valentine's Day into a self-care day. The first tip that I have for you guys is to clean and organize your space. So whether that means you want to do a clean sweep of your whole apartment or house or whatever, or if you just want to take like one section, like one particular shelf, or you want to work on your closet, or you want to work on like one part of your bedroom. However you want to do that, cleaning and organizing your space is so therapeutic when doing self-care things. I think that it's kind of, as you're cleaning house, you're also being able to kind of clean house in your mind and in your heart a little bit. You kind of get to just go through, purify things, make things clean, and also for me personally, if I feel really anxious or like out of control, doing things like cleaning and organizing helps me a lot, because I'm in control of where all of those things are going. You know, I'm putting things away, I'm cleaning things up. It makes me feel like I have some like part of my life under control. That sounds really pathetic, like, oh, my life is such a mess, but it really does help if you have anxiety or anything like that, to kind of have some time set aside where you can just clean and organize and do that in your house and kind of in your mind a little bit too. So I found that that's a really helpful one for me. So the second thing that I have for you guys actually kind of goes along with the first one, so that is to decorate your space. Now this doesn't mean you have to go to Target and you have to like run through the houseware section and buy everything that you like. You can actually do this for free at home. That is what I have done here. So like, I already have decor up in my apartment. I have stuff that I like and it looks the way I want it to, but I decided actually to make a motivational wall. So this wall right here behind the desk is going to be completely filled up with various little like quotes, Bible verses, song lyrics, stuff like that. Anything that just makes my soul happy, anything that encourages me, anything that motivates me to get things done. There's a lot of things on there about a lot of different topics, and doing something like that where it's like, it's gonna be so cute at the end, and it's something where I got to pick out things that really speak to me and I got to cover my space with them. And so I think that that's something that's important as well, is making sure that you're filling your space with things that are encouraging to you and things that make you happy. Just because like waking up and seeing that kind of positivity every day is really encouraging for me, and it kind of tells me that like even on those bad days, keep going, keep working for what you want, your time will come, kind of thing. Because that is what I personally have been struggling with, is just feeling like I'm constantly waiting and things aren't coming. So having something that encourages you and tells you like, hey, it's gonna be okay, other people have walked through this, there's people here for you, God is here for you, all that stuff. It's just been really encouraging for me. So that is something that I'm gonna continue to do on this Valentine's Day. I'm gonna finish this whole wall and just put up a bunch of quotes and lyrics and things that I like. The third thing that you can do is make a self-care item. So whatever it is there's like a lot of different things. I actually have, in my Pinterest, I have a board that's all about DIY self-care things. So it's like body scrubs, body butters, like pillow sprays that help you sleep and stuff like that, or like room sprays. I'm big into like essential oils and stuff like that. I like to make different concoctions with those that help lift my mood or help calm me, help like with anxiety, stuff like that. So actually I will link that board down below so you guys can find some little projects to work on. But I think that that is so fun because not only are you making something that is like going to be for like yourself, it's going to take care of some like part of your body or something like that, it's also just getting hands-on and making something is really therapeutic for me in those times. So that's something that I thought I would recommend as well, just making a self-care item, whatever it may be. Number 4 is something that I wish I could do more often. That is just to take a bath. So if you are fortunate enough to have a bathtub wherever you are living, take full advantage of it. There are so many benefits to taking a bath, especially like I like to put in 1 or 2 cups of like Epsom salts, a little bit of ginger, and then either like I'll take like a bubble bar or like a bath bomb from Lush, or sometimes I'll just put in some like essential oils and let myself sit there and soak. It can be so good for you, especially with aromatherapy like that. That's kind of helping to lift your mood, lift your spirits a little bit. And setting aside that time for yourself. That is really what this whole thing is about, is just setting aside some time where you're focusing on you and sorting out the problems and things that are going through your head. I know that like sometimes my brain's just going a mile a minute and I need a chance to just take out some time from my day, sit down and think. So doing something like taking a bath, especially like if you can use that self-care item that you made, like I have a scrub that I made that I absolutely love, and so I'll always like whenever I do get to take a bath, I will use that, and it's just kind of a chance for me to focus on little things like that. Just even like making your legs smooth. Like it's not a huge thing, but it can make you feel so much better about yourself. It can make you feel so much better, just like it lifts your mood so much. I can't even stress that enough. If you do not have a bath where you are, like I don't have a bath where I am right now, just take a hot shower. Let yourself stay in there as long as you want. Put on some good music, sit in there, and just let yourself kind of relax, be refreshed, let the steam soak into your face. That sounded really weird, but you know what I mean. It opens your pores, it makes you feel clean. But yeah, taking a hot bath or shower can just be really therapeutic, and it can help kind of clear your mind. The 5th thing that I have on my list here is to paint your nails. So this is like such a basic thing, but it's something that's been really big for me actually recently. I got a gel kit, so I have been doing my own shellac manicures at home. I have like an LED lamp and all that stuff, and it's actually been saving me a ton of money too, because I used to just always go out and get my nails done, but that's so expensive. And really honestly, like the kit that I got to do my nails with was the price of like maybe 2 manicures out somewhere, and it's gonna last me for so long. But even if you're not doing gel or anything like that, take the time to do something like this for yourself. If you don't want to paint your fingernails, you can paint your toenails, or just like focus on something. If you want to do your makeup, or if you want to do a face mask or something like that, just something that's like calming. It keeps you focused on something else. Like for me, painting my nails is super therapeutic because I'm focusing on where the polish is going. I'm focusing on getting it in the right spot and like doing a task with my hands. And for me, that's been really helpful just because it gives me something to do instead of just like twiddling my thumbs and worrying about things. So it's been really good, like anxiety wise, or like if I'm ever worried about something, I'll just kind of be like, I'm gonna go paint my nails. Don't ask me why I'm doing that, but I find that it's something really nice, and it's just something that makes you feel special and pampered. So for the 6th thing, I think that it is really nice to just sit, have some quiet time, and read a good book. So whether this is like a story, like a fictional thing that you just kind of let yourself get lost in, or something that's like helping you through a particular subject at the time. Like for me, the one that I have been reading is Present Over Perfect. This is by Shauna Nyquist, I don't know how she says her name. But this is a really great book, just kind of reminding you that like it's more important to be 100% where you are, be present in everything that you're doing, than to do it 100% perfectly. So that's kind of the idea, is like it's more important that even if something is simple, that you're able to give it 100% than it is to do everything and try to do everything, because in reality that's going to end up depleting you. The work will not be as good, stuff like that. So it's kind of just taking a moment to step back, reevaluate things before you're just saying yes to everything, or before you feel guilty for the times that sometimes you're saying no. So that's where I'm at in the book right now. It's really great. So reading something like that, reading something that's just encouraging to you, or even if it's just, like I said, a story that you want to escape with, reading a book is always really therapeutic. The 7th thing on my list is something that I guess isn't for everybody, but it's been really helpful for me recently. It's just kind of sitting down and spending some time with God. So if you're not religious, this could just mean sitting down and meditating and having some time where you're just there with your thoughts and you get to kind of sort through them. But for me personally, I sit down, I do a devotional, or if I've already finished my devotional for the day, sometimes I will literally just put on my worship playlist and let the words pour over me, and I will sit there and just spend some time with God. Let him tell me whatever it is he needs to tell me, and kind of open my heart to listening. And I find that no matter how bad I feel before I go into that, or how much I don't want to do it in the moment, when I come out of that, I always feel better about whatever situation it is, or I just feel better about life in general. I come out of it very uplifted. I come out of it feeling renewed and refreshed. And so I think that having that time is so important. So definitely something I would recommend. I'm going to link the devotional that I've been doing down below, and also I can link my Spotify playlist for any of you who want to listen to the worship playlist. Even if you don't believe in God and you just want to kind of listen to those words, they're so uplifting even for people who like don't believe. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, there's something about the positivity and the reassurance in the lyrics to those songs that I think has just, I mean, it's made a huge impact on my life, and I think it can be helpful. The next thing I have kind of goes along with the previous thing because I do them at the same time usually, but they can totally be separate. So this one is to journal. Just spend some time journaling. I go back and forth on journaling because I really love doing it, and I usually feel better after I do it, but it takes so much time for me just because like I'm a very slow writer. So when I'm actually like trying to write out all of my thoughts are going faster than my hand can, and so like there's all these things happening that I want to write down and then I forget them, so it can be kind of frustrating for me sometimes. But journaling can be really helpful. It can give you a place where you can just let out your thoughts, especially if it's something that like you don't feel comfortable talking to somebody else about. Just sitting down and working out your own thoughts and kind of sorting out your own feelings by writing them out can be really therapeutic. I know that this is obviously something that everybody says when they're saying stuff like this, but journaling really is nice. And however you want to do it, if you're more of like a sit down and write out all your thoughts kind of person, or if you do like bulleted lists, or even if you're just like making art in a sketchbook, like those are all forms of journaling and like letting your emotions out onto the paper. And I just think that that's a really freeing process. So the 9th thing on my list is something that I've been trying to put into practice more recently as well, and that is to make a love or gratefulness list. So whatever it is that you want to do, I guess for Valentine's Day, like the love list would be more appropriate, but whatever you want to do, just make a list of all the things that you're grateful for, or all the things that you love about yourself or about your life. Make a conscious effort to seek those things out. That's what has made a difference for me, is like there are things in my everyday life that I don't even think to be thankful for, or I don't even think like, wow, this makes me so happy every day that I get to wake up and see this, or every day that this is happening in my life. And so actually, like, I don't always think about those things. So actually sitting down and making a conscious effort to list all of those out, it forces you to kind of focus on the positive things in your life. So whether you want to make a list about like if you're feeling down like in your self-esteem and you want to make a list just about the things that you love about yourself even, it is so helpful to, instead of focusing, because it's really easy to focus on the negative things in everyday life, but if you're sitting there and you're having to make the effort to focus on the positive, focus on the things that you love about yourself, the things you love about your life, the things that you are so grateful that you have, it can like really change your point of view and how you think about things, not even just in that situation, but like if you're consistently doing something like a gratefulness list, I find that it makes you more conscious of those things as they're happening throughout your life, or like as you come into contact with them. So I like to make one of these, a short one of these before bed every night. I just make a quick 10-point list of 10 things that I am grateful for. and doing it every day is something that's been really helpful for me, because then, like I said, it forces me to that was not what I meant, kind of see those things in my everyday life more often. The 10th thing on my list is something that I absolutely love, and that is to make a playlist, or better yet, have a friend make one for you. So I have a friend who, she and I, like, we get each other on so many things, and so if I'm feeling like really emotional about something, or if I'm just like, I'm having a hard time and I need something to listen to, I can text her and be like, hey, will you make me a playlist? This is the situation, this is what I'm feeling. Can you help me find things that will kind of help get my emotions out? And she's always really great about that. So I have a bunch of amazing playlists from her that I absolutely love. I listen to them constantly. So whether you're having a friend make it for you, which can sometimes be like extra therapeutic, or you're just making one for yourself, having that music, I don't know, for me, music is a way that, like, even if I didn't write the music, it feels like I'm getting my emotions out there. So it feels like even if I'm just singing along, like, I get to take those things that I'm feeling and finally let them go. And I think that is something really important in everyday life, in learning to love yourself and all of those things. So if you want to make like a super upbeat, happy, like pop playlist, or if you want to make something that's all about like girl power songs, or like songs about learning to love yourself, like any way that you want to do that, I find that music is a good way to get those feelings out. The next thing on my list is something super cute that some friends of mine have been doing recently, and that is actually making Valentines for other people. So whether you want to maybe make some Valentines for people in the military who are stationed overseas, or if you want to make cards for the elderly or something like that, just making little notes to brighten other people's days will in turn usually brighten your day as well. Feeling like you've done something special for somebody, feeling like you've made somebody else feel better, that is so uplifting for you. So even if something really awful is happening, or you're going through something really hard, it's kind of the same thing as like the list. Shifting your focus onto positive things and making a positive difference for other people will in turn bring that in your own life. So make some Valentine's Day cards, whether it's just you're gonna pass them out to your friends, or if you want to, like I said, send them overseas or give them to like a nursing home. That's a super cute way to just kind of spread positivity and love, and in turn you will be getting some of that back to yourself. The 12th thing on my list is actually something that, it's always been something that I liked, but it's something that I specifically learned from that same friend who always makes me my playlists, and that's to dance it out. Literally, I will sometimes just turn on, I have specifically like a dance it out playlist, and I will turn it on in my apartment, and it doesn't really matter what's happening, I will just be dancing around my whole apartment. It is so fun, it makes you feel so free. For me, it's just a time to kind of forget about other like bad things that are happening in my life, and I just kind of get to dance around and have fun and enjoy myself and feel young, and that is so important for me. So literally, even if you're in your apartment by yourself, which is what I am, like just run around and dance, and even just like getting a little bit of exercise like that can make you feel so good. It can release chemicals in your brain that are making you feel amazing, and it can really help just lift your spirits. And if you're by yourself, nobody knows if you can't dance. Number 13 on my list is pretty obvious, I think, when you're thinking about self-care, but it's just to take time for your hobby or whatever makes your soul feel happy. So if you love to paint, go grab yourself a canvas and get to work on some new painting. If you just like watching a Netflix show, like if you have a goal to finish a show, then just like watch a couple episodes of it, or do something creative, something that, you know, you're working with your hands, you're making something. For me, the thing that I like to do, this sounds super nerdy, I'm so sorry, I sound like I'm 85, I should be knitting. But the thing that I like to do is sit down with the crossword from my school's newspaper. So every Tuesday, my school releases another edition of the school paper, and there's always a crossword in it, and since the school paper is free, I'm not having to go like buy a thing of crosswords or something like that, and I will just sit there and like actually fill it in with a pencil. For me, that's more therapeutic and like more fun than doing one like on my phone or something. So I like to have it in front of me. I like to sit down with a cup of coffee or whatever and just go through it and do the crossword puzzle. So like whatever it is like that just kind of calms you. It's something that makes you happy no matter what anybody else thinks of it. Like I feel like doing crosswords is super nerdy and I don't even care. So I'll sit down at night sometimes in front of my TV, My dog's always barking at me when I do it, but I'll just sit down with my crossword puzzle and do it, and that honestly makes me so happy. Like, I look forward to that every Tuesday when they release the new edition of the paper. The very last thing, so number 14 on my list, is to make yourself some good food. Whether this means you want to have a pig out night and you want to make brownies and you want to eat a ton of ice cream, sometimes that's what you need. And if what you're feeling is more like, sometimes when I have such bad anxiety, like I can't make myself eat, so I'll do something like, I have some frozen fruit from Target and I just have like those mixes, and so I'll make myself a smoothie or something like that. Listen to your body, listen to what it's telling you, and just take care of it. Spend the night making some food, whatever it is. Like I said about like the creative things, doing things with your hands and making things, for me that is so helpful, and I think it's helpful for a lot of other people too. So if I'm feeling down, sometimes I'll just like find a recipe online and start cooking. Or even if it's just a matter of, like I said, tossing stuff in the blender and making a smoothie, or if you want to bake, or whatever it is you want to do. I think doing stuff like that and then having a product that in the end is also like nourishing for your body, I think that that's something that's really overlooked, and it's something that can help a lot. Self-care is all about listening to your body, all about listening to yourself and knowing your needs and saying that, you know, it's okay to fulfill some of those needs as they come up. So something like making food is definitely a huge part of that. So guys, that is it for the 14 things that you can do to make Valentine's Day into a self-care day. That is what I'm going to be doing when Valentine's Day rolls around. I'm going to sit in my apartment and actually take some time to focus on myself and listen to my heart and what it needs, and kind of go from there. Sorry if this video sounded like all weird and like, I don't even know. Self-care is important. No matter what you believe, no matter what you think about other things, what your political beliefs or religious beliefs are, whatever. Self-care is important, listening to your body is important, and doing the things that your soul needs is important. I really hope this video was helpful for some of you guys, and that you just found some things that you might want to do, even if it's not on Valentine's Day. Just take these tips and use them anytime you feel like you need to recharge a little bit. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next Thursday for next week's video. Love you. Bye.